Welcome to the Money on Steroids podcast. Today I have a good friend of mine, Selma Brahimi. Selma works for Passport Legacy. They provide second citizenship programs by investment. Selma will talk to us about the benefits of having a second citizenship and why this is important for our podcast is people like you, me, and future entrepreneurs, they're looking for options to optimize their taxes first and also to have a safe haven if anything would happen in their countries. Selma, welcome.
Thank you, Marwan, and thank you very much for having me today. Give me the opportunity to speak about citizenship and residency by investment.
Thank you. So before we started, we were talking about, getting a passport, getting a second citizenship. And you corrected me because I said, how can we purchase a passport? And you said, no, we don't say purchase a passport. We say investment, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's correct. Actually, in both citizenship and residency by investment, we'll be talking later maybe between the difference between both is an investment that we're talking about. So the different governments that are offering a program offer a possibility to invest in different routes to be able to get the citizenship or the residency. Those routes can be a donation for a project, development project of the government itself. It could be, usually it's national funds, or you can directly invest in a project of the government, like universities, to develop the country, like universities, infrastructures, prison, hospitals. And then you can invest in real estate, approved by the government. You can invest in government bonds, in businesses. You can set up your own business. So investment funds. So there are many options and routes to get the citizenship or the residency by investment.
Great. So before going deep into the subject, how did you get into this field? Because it's not something common, right? I don't know many people. Like, I've been looking for someone for months, basically, before having you on this podcast. So how does someone get into this field?
Well, it was something, let's say by coincidence or not. I haven't been in the industry for a long time, so since 2022. So before I started my career in marketing and specifically in automotive. So I started working in Cairo, in Egypt, and then in Algeria and in Dubai. After a while, more than 15 years of experience in that, the COVID hits, and then you think about what you want to do in the future. Sales, of course, was always something that came up into my mind because, maybe matching this with a strong experience of marketing, it makes a lot of sense. So I always wanted to do that. I was very also here in Dubai passionate about investment when it comes to real estate, for example. Having the experience of the Middle East, North Africa, languages as well, made me land into this industry that was perfectly fitting for me because it's sales. You get to meet a lot of people, people with different cultures, backgrounds. It's very passionate. And this is why I'm here now.
That's awesome. Maybe we should introduce the company a little bit more. I want to know what services you offer at Passport Legacy, because we're talking about only citizenship and passports, but tell me more about all the services that you guys provide.
So Passport Legacy is a Swiss boutique company that has its headquarters in Dubai. But we have many offices around the world. We have 2 in Nigeria. We have in Lebanon, Pakistan, Singapore. We just opened in Egypt, in Cairo, and Zurich. So, but we work with clients really all over the world because everything, or mainly everything, can be done remotely, and we have no problem to travel and meet our clients as well. So yes, so that's very, very important. We are specialized in citizenship and residency by investment. We are very important. We are approved by the different governments that are having those that offering those programs. And we offer also business setup. We have a sister company that is Property Legacy. We do real estate. Why? Because we started with offering, of course, the golden visa, so residency by investment for in the UAE. To be eligible, you need to invest in real estate. 2 million dirhams, so we can talk about it. Yeah. And so we have grown. I mean, we have developed knowledge and skills and a team for that. So we just developed more our business into that, and now we're expert also in real estate in Dubai.
So it's important that you said we're approved by the governments. So not all companies that offer this service are probably, approved. So how can someone navigate between like the real companies like yours and the fake ones?
This is a very important question because we're talking here about projects that involve a lot of money. So it means that it attracts a lot of people, and it attracts a lot of scammers as well. You have to know that in our industry, referrals are the most important source of clients and leads. Mm-hmm. Very, very important. So why? Because of all those issues. It's important project, a lot of money involved, people from all over the world. They don't know you personally every time. So being approved by the government is very important, and you can verify this. First of all, requesting the license from the government. So each one of us, each agency or each company is supposed to have a license from the government. You can also go on the official website of those programs, and you will see the agencies that are approved, listed there. You will have also the blacklisted one. Who are involved in previous scams or not also following the rules and the regulation of those governments. I have something, for example, in mind, respecting the minimum investment that is imposed by the government, so that you're sure that your passport is not revoked, that your application is not rejected, that it's done on time. So it's not only about fake or scammers, is also about having the right people and the right experts. You will find a lot of brokers, agents. They don't know what they are doing. They don't know the new regulations. It's an industry where the laws and the rules change all the time according to the political situation, international situation, etc. And because we're approved, we are aware about all those changes. So we can advise properly our clients. We have proper teams. We have an internal compliance team. We have an internal processing team. We have really experts in each stage of the applications. Yeah. So this is very important to be sure that your application is going through the right process, and you, before that, as you were saying, that the client is rightly advised also.
Yeah, no, for sure. And just, I want to make sure I get this right, because I was talking to my wife yesterday about this particular episode, and she's like, what are you doing today? I'm like, yeah, it's going to be, subject about how we can get a second citizenship. She's like, is this legal? I'm like, yeah, it's legal. It's something that probably not many people know about. So this has been going for years. Like, these programs existed, I think like 10, 20 years ago for sure, right?
Well, it exists actually since 40 years ago.
Oh.
If we have to speak about the first citizenship by investment program by St. Kitts and Nevis. So this is a country in the Caribbean area. So one of the most popular programs are the Caribbean programs. Those programs are provided by 5 countries. Okay, so the most popular one, St. Kitts, because it's the oldest one, and then it has been developed during the years, and now there is Dominica, who is offering also a program, Grenada, St. Lucia, and Antigua and Barbuda. Why are those programs the most popular? Because it's very straightforward. You invest and you get a passport, so there is no residency in between. We will see this later. No visit is required. No relocation is required. It offers a lot of advantages, like traveling visa-free to up to 160 countries. So these are the most popular, and these are the reason why, and it's very affordable when it comes to pricing comparing to the other programs. Yes, it's definitely legal. It's by the government, and it's done through the process through the government. The donation and the programs are approved also by the different governments. So yes.
So if we're talking about, the avatar that you guys are serving, who would be your clients?
So our clients, as I always say, we need to be very open-minded, and really with all the programs that are offered all around the world, we can find a lot of profiles and people that could be interested according to their objective, their situation, their budget, etc. So mainly when it comes to citizenship, you will find the emergent countries who are looking for a better solution for mobility, a passport with a better mobility, also planning the future for their families, for better healthcare, education, opportunities in the future. Mainly you will find Africa, Middle East, Asia. People will be, most of them you would say, okay, with those prices, high net worth individuals, this is going to represent a comfort for their lives, so nice to have. Others will be a must-have, even if they are not, in terms of wealth, very rich, because it's necessary for their business. Today that you can be called for a business opportunity today for tomorrow to travel. So it's an individual investment as well when it comes to money. People who are also coming from countries who are unstable politically and economically. We can see what's happening currently all around the world. Middle East, of course, very unstable. Africa, what's happening today with in Russia as well. So people sometimes have the necessity to have a plan B today and have a second passport or residency. You will have also Western people who will seek for second citizenship, mainly to optimize their taxes legally.
Okay.
A lot of US citizens who would like to avoid paying the global taxation. Today is very famous for that. So they need to have a second citizenship before renouncing. Otherwise, they will be stateless, which is a very difficult and dangerous position to have. So you will find US citizens who are established outside the country for years, but they don't have any plan to come back to the country. Other people who have been naturalized by their parents, or maybe after through the residency there, that now they're not living there anymore, and they have no plans also, so I'd like to optimize the taxes as well. So we see this a lot. In Europe, there is a new trend with Germans this year. So we have a lot of requests from German people. They want to have a plan B because Germany has announced global taxation in the future, in the near future.
In France as well, I know there are plans.
Absolutely.
Right? Okay.
France is talking about that as well. So many countries. So high net worth individuals have always a plan B when it comes to citizenship, and yes, CBI is a good solution for them, and we have a lot of clients for that. So basically, these are the main, let's say, clusters of profiles. Yeah.
Do you get a lot of Canadians? I'm Canadian, that's why I'm asking. I mean, I do have a second citizenship, but
yes.
do you see many Canadians, especially the last, I would say 3-4 years, people are upset with the politics and with the direction of the country. I'm just curious about if you see a lot of Canadians or not.
Actually, this is very true. We hear about that. There is a tendency for Canadian. Here in the region, not much because of the geographical location.
Yeah.
But yes, it's a tendency. I think I am not sure that Canada also is planning to apply global taxation. So yes, Canadians could be a very good future profile or target.
Yeah, I can be your future profile, trust me.
That's great.
Yeah, I don't believe in global taxation. To me, it's just like you got to pay your taxes where you live.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to pay your taxes based on your passport, especially if you're not, using the public services. Anyway, how do you help your clients determine which program is best fit for them?
That's very important, actually. What we do is we have a consultation with, it's very important to have a consultation with our client. Why I'm telling you this, because there are a lot of people who are calling, just looking around in the internet or hearing friends talking or whatever, and try to decide by themselves which program. So a consultation is very important, a private one, because through that we will determine according to the profile of the person, their objective, their budget, their nationality, because some nationalities are restricted from some programs, some are not. The family structure, what is their objective? Is it to relocate, not to relocate? Where do they live? Do they have children? What's their budget? And then we will orient or guide them toward the best or the optimum option for them. Could be citizenship by investment or residency by investment. And then among this one, which is the best program at that time. And you have to know, as we said before, the rules, the laws, the programs change a lot during the time.
Yeah.
So what is relevant today can be irrelevant tomorrow.
Yeah. So we spoke about the different programs and the different methods. I want to dig a little bit more into that. So when we say investment, so you said there's just like an investment with the government or an investment through real estate. Can you develop a little bit more about these programs? So what different types of programs are available today?
Okay, so actually for the Caribbean countries, you will see the most popular investment will be the donation. You have to know that those countries, let's say those programs are the second most important source of income for the countries after tourism.
The second
one. So
wow.
It's very important for them, and it represents a very good boost to their economy. Okay, so this is why you find the donation directly to the government funds that will use them to develop the country, or to specific projects, as we said before, launched and approved by the government for the development of the country. And these are the most popular because it's the cheapest option. And then in the Caribbean, you will have the second option will be the real estate investment. Okay. But real estate will be only in approved project by the government, generally related to tourism, will be resorts or hotels. So it will also contribute to boosting the economy through tourism. You have to keep 5 years the property before selling it back.
Okay.
Usually you have a title deed. You don't have a title deed, sorry. You have shares. So let's say before the increase of the price last July 2024, like 2 months ago, the first option, the most popular, was the donation. Now, we're still assessing, let's say, the situation, because it was the minimum investment was $100,000. Today is minimum $200,000. So you have more people that are more willing to invest in real estate.
Yeah.
Government bonds in some countries, they are offering that for the Caribbean. And then when it comes to residency by investment, so mainly in Europe, the most popular one would be Portugal and Greece. So Portugal, the real estate investment does not exist anymore. It has been stopped last quarter of 2023. Now the minimum investment is 250,000 euros as a donation, or 500,000 euros in investment funds approved by the government. You have to keep the investment for 5 years, the residency, so you have it after 1 year, 5 years residency, with the condition of visiting the country only 2 weeks every 2 years, which is...
Well, that's not bad.
That's not bad at all. Yeah. And then after 5 years, you can apply for citizenship, and you get your passport after 2 years without relocating, which is an amazing option, but it's more a long-term option. So you were asking me how to orient or guide the client. So it depends on the objective. So this one would be more a long-term option, but it's a European passport with all the, of course, the advantages that it gets. And you get a very good return on investment. This is between 7 to 14%. So I would say it's a very good one. And then Greece, with a minimum investment in real estate of 250,000 euros. You lose it the moment you resell your property, and there is no route for citizenship for this one. However, whether it's for any program in Europe, like Portugal or Greece, when you have the residency, you have visa-free access to all the Schengen area.
Yeah.
Spain has its program with a minimum investment in real estate of 500,000 euros. Latvia is a new program that we are offering. This is very cost-effective. So the minimum investment is 50,000 euros in a business with certain conditions, plus 10,000 taxes. So it's an investment of 60,000 euros, which is not bad at all, with a required visit of 2 days per year. Turkey has a very good program also, with a minimum investment in real estate of $400,000. You get it very fast. In 4 months, you have your passport, and you can sell back your property after 3 years. So here we can see that there is really a lot of options according to each country. Budget, objective. So I think that, these are the main, there are more, but these are the main programs currently that are working,
Yeah. What are usually the main misconceptions people have about these programs?
So usually people have the misconception, they think that those programs are meant for criminals who would like to change their names or not to be tracked whatsoever, which is completely wrong because there is every applicant will go through a very strict due diligence with the country themselves. We do a due diligence before also to avoid any rejection and to be able to also be sure that the person is eligible. So those countries will not accept anyone who has an open case, for example, or related to any big crimes like terrorism or money laundering. And the proof in that is that even the U.S. government gives very easily the visa after obtaining the passport through citizenship by investment with the Caribbean countries, because they know that they've been through a strict due diligence, so they give it more easily, and usually for 10 years.
Yeah. So how would you respond to concerns or comments about ethical or whatever issues that these countries have? Because what you're telling me is basically, this is a very strong process, and no one can basically go through, a hole or something. Am I right?
Yes, that's true, because beside the due diligence that is conducted, there is really plenty of documents and that are requested, and the justification of the source of funds is very important for each program. So the person or the applicant needs to justify from where the money is coming to be able to pay for the investment. So, for example, politically exposed people need to prove that the money doesn't come from a salary related to a political position, for example.
Even a salary?
Absolutely.
Wow.
So we need to give a clean record and source of funds, for example, for that. The EU is involved also. They are all Commonwealth countries, the UK as well. So recently, there have been an increase of the price, as I said, from 100 to 200,000. That has been requested by the EU, actually, where all those countries had to sign a common memorandum in earlier this year to start in July. Why? It's very good because it strengthens the program, because there are new rules that, for example, more documents that are requested from a certain time now. An interview now is requested, which was not the case before. So all those rules and new conditions make the passport ever stronger, and no risk after if you want to get any disadvantage, like losing access to a country or whatsoever. Because beside that, also I forgot to tell you, have one of the advantages also is giving a better access to bank account opening, for example, where you have countries where, like in Africa, where the banking access is very complicated. So if you present a passport from one of those countries that is clean toward, all those entities or official entities, it makes it much more easy.
Yeah. You mentioned that demand was increasing in certain countries or parts of the world. You mentioned Germany, you mentioned, I think, Russia as well. Like, what are the countries where you're seeing like more and more interest? Probably by, let's say, by continent, just to have like a wide answer.
Russia, unfortunately, they are restricted from most of the programs that I have listed, most of them. There are maybe 2 or 3 options only open for them, again, for political reasons and what we've been talking about. But some of them were able to do it at the beginning before the restriction, which is very important because Russians, unfortunately, are paying for what is happening. They cannot travel, they cannot open companies, they cannot use their money, they cannot open bank accounts. So yes, it's very important for such kind of population or countries to get a passport. So when it was possible, it was, yes, the demand was very high at that moment. And then, yes, according to the time, I would say now mainly Africa, West Africa. This is why we have a good implementation there. Yes, Nigeria is a very good market.
Yeah, interesting. So we're getting to the end of this episode, and we have a tradition in this podcast.
Okay.
This is the section that we call the steroid shot. It's related to the name of the podcast.
Okay.
But this is a question that relates to, what big impact happened in people's lives or in their clients' lives. In your case, I think we can talk more about clients. So, do you have any memorable moment or situation where you've seen a second citizenship really impacting positively someone's life, as, someone leaving a war zone, someone, getting a way better job? Do you have any, story like this, of course, without mentioning the person?
Yes, actually, I have a very interesting story that is very different from where we are supposed to hear. Of course, this is what I like in my job, because I really impact the life of the client. As you said, it could be a better future, a better present. Of course, it's 180 degrees change in the lives of people. But there is one case that I think remember my entire life, is this family who is French, who adopted a little girl in Morocco. And because of the diplomatic situation between the countries, Europe and Morocco, they were not able to provide her a visa. She was few months, she was a baby, a visa to be able to go to France, and then the jurisdiction of this country would be applied on her as an adopted person. So you need to have your feet there first before the laws can be applied on you. And the only problem they had is to bring their daughter in France, so that she can start her new life. And they stayed 1 year blocked in Morocco. They changed, They had to stop working. One of the spouse had to move in Morocco to stay with the kids. So she had to put her job in standby, no more earnings, so half of it. And they didn't know when they would be able to bring their daughter at home. And I remember that was the only solution for that. They had to borrow even money from all the family to be able to do that. And the main objective and only objective was to bring their daughter home. And even if after, the passport will not allow them to stay more than 6 months, that was not a problem, because a new law would be applied on their daughter. So I think this is a case that I will always remember.
And it took them 1 year?
More than a year, almost 2 years.
Wow, that's inspiring.
Yes.
That's a very beautiful story.
Thank you.
Well, Selma, thank you very much for coming today. We're here in Dubai. I know it's hot outside, so the walking from the car to here was a little bit hard, at least for me. I know you park in the underground parking. Thanks a lot. Before wrapping up, I want to know, how can people contact you, and how they can contact your company?
Well, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak today here at Money on Steroid. Yes, you can contact me anytime on our website, passportlegacy.com, or on my direct line on WhatsApp, by phone. I think that you will provide the details later.
Yeah, we're going to put them on the screen here and in the description of the video. Awesome.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Selma.
Bye.